Tag TV brings you daily news bulletin from India. Breaking news and views from India.
You're watching South Asian NEWSLINE and here are the top stories we are tracking for you on Friday, the 15th of November. PM Modi to embark on three-nation visit to strengthen ties in Africa, South America and the Caribbean. Pakistan dismisses media report over Chinese security issue, says it can ensure their safety. And Sri Lankan President's coalition wins two-thirds majority in general election. And now for all the details. Prime Minister Narendra Modi is set to embark on a three-nation visit starting Saturday, as announced by India's Foreign Ministry. The visit marks significant diplomatic engagements across three continents. In the first leg, PM Modi will travel to Nigeria, making it the first visit by an Indian Prime Minister to the African nation in 17 years. He is scheduled to hold a bilateral meeting with Nigerian President Bola Ahmed Tinubu and address the Indian diaspora in Nigeria. Following his engagements in Nigeria, the Prime Minister will proceed to Brazil to participate in the G20 summit. In addition to his involvement in the multilateral forum, PM Modi is expected to conduct bilateral discussions with other visiting leaders. The final leg of the visit will take him to Georgetown, the capital of Guyana, for a state visit. While in Guyana, PM Modi is slated to address the parliament and engage with the Indian diaspora. He will also participate in the second CARICOM India Summit, where he will meet leaders of CARICOM member countries to strengthen India's enduring partnership with the Caribbean region. Indian Foreign Ministry spokesperson Randhir Jaiswal on Thursday informed that Arsh Dalla, a man who has been designated as terrorist by India and is accused of being a close aide to Khalistani terrorist Hardeep Singh Nijjar, has been arrested in Canada. Canadian authorities have arrested Arsh Dalla following a violent shooting incident in Ontario, according to a report in local Canadian television outlet CTV. Randhir said, giving Arsh Dalla's criminal record in India and his involvement in similar illegal activities in Canada, it is expected that he will be extradited or deported to face justice in India. Jaiswal said the number of cases exceeds 50. Gill was also very close to Nijjar and ran terror modules on Nijjar's behalf. Nijjar, who headed the pro-Khalistan outfits Khalistan Tiger Force and the Canadian wing of the Sikhs for Justice Group, was shot dead in June last year by men Ottawa has claimed were agents of the Indian government. The allegations, which India has vigorously denied, sent diplomatic relations between the two countries into a downward spiral.
Until these consulates are permanently closed. Shut down these terror houses.
Days after Reuters reported that Beijing demanded its own security management for Chinese nationals in Pakistan, Islamabad has responded, asserting it is capable of providing full security. In an exclusive report, the news agency highlighted that repeated attacks on Chinese citizens and Islamabad's inability to prevent them have frustrated China, leading Beijing to request its own security personnel to protect the thousands of Chinese nationals in Pakistan. Addressing a weekly media briefing, Pakistan's Foreign Ministry spokesperson Mumtaz Zahra Baloch refuted the claims made in the Reuters report, stating that the report seeks to create confusion between the two strategic partners. Emphasizing recent statements by the Chinese Foreign Ministry in support of Pakistan's counter-terrorism efforts, Baloch stated that Islamabad remains in active communication with the Chinese government and Chinese companies operating in Pakistan over security concerns. Chinese nationals have been targeted by separatist militants who view Beijing as aiding Pakistan in exploiting resources in the underdeveloped southwestern province of Balochistan, where China has strategic port and mining investments. The former U.S. Special Representative for Afghanistan Reconciliation, Zalmay Khalilzad, stated at a gathering that the Doha Agreement is the only official agreement between the U.S. and the interim government of Afghanistan. Speaking during an event, the former U.S. Special Representative for Afghanistan Reconciliation stressed that the interim government still claims to be committed to the Doha Agreement, which could serve as a basis for Washington's engagement with Kabul. This comes as the Islamic Emirate and the US have repeatedly accused each other of violating the Doha Agreement. Previously, the White House stated that if the caretaker government seeks to lift sanctions and gain international legitimacy, it must adhere to its commitment under the Doha Agreement.
Throughout the negotiations. Today is also a
Sri Lankans handed the National People's Power coalition led by newly elected President Anurakumara Dissanayake a decisive victory in a snap general election, granting him greater legislative power to pursue policies aimed at alleviating poverty and combating corruption as the country recovers from a financial crisis. Disanaike's coalition, led by the JVP, secured 137 seats, garnering around 7 million votes in Thursday's election and surpassing the two-thirds majority mark in parliament. This landslide victory is the first time any single party has achieved under the proportional representation system. Dissanayake comfortably won the presidential election in September, but his Marxist-leaning National People's Power coalition held only 3 of Parliament's 225 seats before Thursday's election, leading him to dissolve the parliament and seek fresh mandate. While the president holds executive power, Dissanayake still required a parliamentary majority to appoint a full cabinet and fulfill key promises to reduce taxes, support local businesses and combat poverty.
Is over such an overwhelming mandate, it shows that there won't be any checks and balances on the executive arm. That is very worrying, because a functioning democracy needs a strong government, but also strong opposition. And I don't think this is going to happen with this election.
The Attorney General of Bangladesh, Mohammad Asad Usman, called for substantial amendments to the constitution of the country and suggested the removal of key terms from it. Asad Usman suggested the removal of key provisions such as socialism, Bengali nationalism, secularism, and the designation of Bangabandhu Sheikh Mujibur Rahman as father of the nation. The remarks were made during the 5th day of hearing at the High Court on the legality of Bangladesh's 15th constitutional amendment. Addressing Article 8 of the Constitution, Asad Usman argued that socialism and secularism do not reflect the realities of a nation where 90% of the population is Muslim. He advocated for reinstating the original phrasing which emphasized unwavering faith in Allah. Asad Usman argued that these changes would align the constitution with the country's democratic and historical ethos. He also made a call to reinstate provisions for a referendum which was abolished under the 15th Amendment. As per UNB, after the hearing, Asad Usman spoke to the media and said that retaining the 15th Amendment undermines the spirit of the Liberation War, the 1990 mass uprising and the 2024 July Revolution. He accused the amendment of prolonging authoritarian rule and violating constitutional supremacy. Sikh devotees across India on Friday celebrated the 555th birth anniversary of Sikhism's founder Guru Nanak Dev by taking holy dips and lighting lamps. Take a look.
Hundreds of devotees gathered at the famous Golden Temple in India's Amritsar city on Monday to celebrate the 554th birth anniversary of Sikhism founder Guru Nanak Dev. Devotees took holy dips in Sarovar, lit lamps and pondered upon the spiritual leader's life to mark the occasion. Similar scenes were witnessed in Indian capital New Delhi, where devotees gathered since early morning to offer their obeisance on the occasion.
आज के दिन 1469 ईस्वी श्री गुरु नानक देव जी ने अवतार धारिया है। रायपुर की तलवंडी जिन्हों जिहड़ा अजकल पाकिस्तान ननकाना साहिब है उत्थे अवतार धारिया है। समूह संगतां नूं आज के दिन की लख लख बधाई होवे।
Guru Nanak Dev, the first Sikh Guru, was born in Nanka Sahib on the full moon day in 1469 in the Kartik month of the Hindu calendar, which is celebrated as Guru Nanak Jayanti. Sikhism originated with the birth of the first Guru, who was succeeded by 9 other spiritual leaders.
That's all in tonight's edition. We will see you same time next week. Have a great weekend. Good night.
Tag TV brings you daily news bulletin from India. Breaking news and views from India.